semester, literally every day, I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not. Like, why am I even here? Like, I don't even want this degree. This is dumb. This is a waste of time. Like, I was ready to give up. But God gave me the strength to make. Hey guys, it's me, Jasmine Z, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're not new here and you've been watching me for some time and you have not subscribed yet, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss another video, okay? Also, go ahead and give this video a nice thumbs up, leave a comment down below, follow your girl on Instagram, you know, all that jazz. And yes, let's just get on into this video. As you can see, I'm tilting my head a lot. Your girl, she did the thing, okay? I braided my hair first time and I am obsessed. I hope you are too, but even if you're not, it's okay. But yeah, so sorry if I'm like always touching my hair and stuff. I'm just not used to braids. It's been so long. As you can see from this title, I just thought I would give you guys a little story time / testimony / encouraging word, because lately I have been thinking about kind of my past and how God has brought me through like other challenging times, because as y'all can tell from my past videos, your girl is going through a little rough patch in life, okay? Lost my job a couple months ago. Since then, I've just been kind of like trying to, you know, figure out what we gonna do here. And with that, it's been just like a lot of ups and downs. The other day, I was in prayer and, you know, I've really been struggling with like trusting God throughout this process. And God literally asked me, have I ever given you a reason not to trust me? Like, have I ever failed you in the past? Have I ever led you astray? And I had to think about it, and obviously no, he's never led me astray. He's never failed me. So it's like, obviously I can trust him now. But it made me think about when I was in college and just the journey that I went through. And a lot of people don't know, you know, I always tell people, yeah, I graduated top of my class, you know, degree in accounting, and that's pretty much all they know. But they don't. They probably think, oh, you know, college was so easy, like everything was good, but it surely was not good and it was not easy. I actually almost gave up several times. So in fall of 2016 is when I started school. I graduated from high school in like May, and I graduated high school with like college credits, so I was actually a year ahead going into college. So it was really only supposed to take me like 3 years to graduate. Also went in with a full scholarship, like academic scholarship or whatever. So those are just bits of information to keep in mind, right? So freshman year was, and I'm sorry if I keep looking over here, I got my notes over here so I can stay on track, but freshman year was, it started off great and then quickly went downhill. But I went through a couple of like very traumatic experiences that kind of just messed me up, for lack of a better word. And I didn't deal with that trauma. I just kind of like tried to just keep going. But fast forward to my sophomore year, and that's when things kind of caught up with me. And ultimately I ended up falling into like a super deep depression. And it got to the point where I couldn't even like mentally, like I couldn't hold it together at all. Like I was gone. And so me trying to do school, you know, being depressed. And then I also had found out that semester, or realized that semester, that I didn't even like accounting. Because up until that point I was like, yeah, accounting, it's cool, yeah, woo. But then I hit that intermediate one and I was like, wait a minute now, this is not it. So I had hit that point where I realized I don't even like accounting. This isn't even for me. But I found out being on a full scholarship, can't switch my major and keep the scholarship. So I was like, great. So that in combination with the depression just kind of took me into this deep pit that I literally could not see my way out of. And honestly, I did consider taking myself out a couple times. I'm sorry if that's a really sensitive subject for people, but that's just the truth and honesty of where I was at that time. Yeah, I didn't want to keep going in life at all. So all that to say, I ended up taking like a medical leave from school. I withdrew from all my classes, dropped out, whatever you want to call it. And I honestly didn't even fully know if I was even gonna go back to school. Cause I was like, this isn't what I want. This isn't for me. Like, if I don't want to have to go through this, right? During that time of depression, I was on like antidepressants. I was on like 3 different medications. Like 2 of them were antidepressants. One of them was like a medication to counteract the side effects of the other, and it was just like so much going on. But ultimately it just made me extremely numb. Like I never felt good, but I didn't feel anything, which you know, that's not a fun feeling to have. But anyways, so I went through that whole period of time. I came home and I just tried to get my life together, and by the grace of God I ended up going back to school the next semester. So this would be spring of 2018. Once that happened, things kind of like, you know, slowly started to get better. Classes were going well. I was like okay mentally. I ended up getting off the medication and all that type of stuff. So so it was good for about 1.5 years until I reached the end of my degree. So this would be fall 2019. So by this point I only had 3 classes left, and these were known, 2 out of 3 of the classes were known to be the most difficult classes, because they're kind of like capstone courses where, you know, it takes everything that you learned your whole time in college, puts it all together, and you got to prove that you really know your stuff. But I really was like, well, it can't be that hard, you know, because I hate to say it like this, like, oh, look at me, but academics was never really like a challenge for me. Like I just naturally did well in school. Tests, like I was just a good test taker and stuff like that. So I was like, man, like I'm fine, I got this. So second day of class, your girl had, you could just say I slipped up. I didn't do my homework. Now another side note is this professor of this class that I'm referring to, I'm just gonna call him Professor Johnson. I'm not even gonna refer to them as he or she. But if you happen to see this at some point, I'm sorry for what I'm about to say. But this professor was known to be very extra of a person. They were known to just give students a hard time for no reason. And from my perspective, you could tell that they just enjoyed making people feel inferior, making people feel small. And I had already had an experience with this professor before. They were even my professor before I was even in their class. We had like a little run-in, and you know, they came at me some type of way, so I came back some type of way, right? So we had already a little bit of bad blood there. But I was willing to, you know, step into the class on a new foot, start things off right. So second day of class comes, and your girl did not do her homework because I did not have my textbook at the time. You know, I waited until I got the syllabus to see, okay, what material do I need, what textbook do I need, whatever. So I had ordered it, and it was, you know, on its way, but I didn't yet get it, so I didn't do the homework. But somehow, some way, me, out of everybody in the class, I was the only one who did not do the homework. Everybody else figured out a way, but I was the only one who didn't figure out a way. So once this professor realized that I did not do my homework, they took it upon themselves to make a complete spectacle out of me. When I say they literally dug into me, like ripped me apart and made me even question why I even existed, they did that to me in front of everybody, in front of the whole class. They were like, oh, you're lazy, you are the worst student I've ever had, like, how could you not do this? Like, how could you not figure out a way? Everybody else figured out a way. How did you not figure out a way to do the homework? And just telling me like I was a horrible student, I was a failure, all this type of stuff. And again, in front of everybody. And then they were like, now get out, like get out of my class. Like, I don't even want to see you anymore, get out. And I was like, what is happening? Like, I've never been thrown out of class before. Like, none of this has ever happened to me before. Cause again, I'm like the quote unquote straight A student. So like, what, really? Like me out of all people? And then so I started packing up my stuff to leave, and then I'm, you know, approaching the door, and then they were like, never mind, I'm gonna let you stay for today, but next time, like, you're leaving and you're not coming back, or something like that. So for those of y'all who do not know, I am a very sensitive person. So at this point, I'm literally just holding the tears back. Like, I'm just sucking them in my eyeballs, like, do not let these tears fall in front of these people. Hold it until you get in private. So fortunately, I was able to hold the tears in. I didn't cry right then and there, but you know I wanted to. Somehow, some way, at the end of class, I muster up the courage to approach this professor, and I was just like, I'm sorry for not doing the homework. I'm sorry for giving the wrong impression. This isn't who I am. I'm not this type of student. Like, I'm a good student. And all I remember specifically telling them was, I'm a good student, and I'm gonna prove that to you. Now, that took a lot of, like, I don't even know where that came from in me, because on the inside, I did not feel like that at all. I was like, I don't even know why I just told them that, because I don't even know how I'm gonna be able to prove this to them. I don't even much even wanna be here, be in this class. Like, why am I even doing this? So So I went home, cried my eyes out, called my mom. I told her, you know, everything that happened, and she told me that I needed to read Psalm 23, which that is like, everybody, even if you're not a Christian, you probably heard this, you know, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, that whole thing. So she told me to read that every day before I went to class, and I did that. And through that, and then just praying and like really seeking God, I heard the Holy Spirit tell me, you're gonna graduate and get 2 A's and a B this semester. And at that time, that felt absolutely impossible because again, I'm taking the hardest classes, and most people barely pass with a C, let alone a B or an A. So I was like, Lord, how the heck am I gonna graduate with A's and B's this semester? Like, I'll be happy if I just get a 70. So fast forward a few weeks, and it came time to take the first test. Please tell me why. The first test, what did I get on that test? An 86, which may not seem like a high score, but I got an 86. Everybody else literally failed that test. I think maybe the second highest score was like a D, maybe a low C, but I got an 86. I got the highest score in the class. So I was like, wait a minute. It's like, Lord, for real? Me? Like, okay. So the professor messaged me, and they were like, oh, I'm so proud of you. Like, you know, you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. And I was just like, really? Like, now you're gonna tell me good job, but 3 weeks ago I was the worst student you ever had? Like, make that make sense. But I was like, okay, cool. So that kind of gave me like a little bit of, you know, hope and a little bit of encouragement to keep going and say, okay, you know, maybe God is with me. Maybe he hasn't forgotten me. So fast forward to the end of the semester, and not only did your girl get the second highest grade in that class, which was a B, but your girl did get the 2 A's and a B like God had promised me, which again may not seem like a big thing, but these are classes that people typically, this is what makes or break people. So the fact that like I actually came out with A's and B's was like a shock even to me. So God did that. But on top of all of that, he said, but wait, there's more. They had a banquet dinner for all of the graduates, which I didn't even go to. I didn't even go to the banquet because I had other plans and I didn't think it was that big of a deal, and I didn't know what was gonna be taking place. Sorry, all my braids are messed up. I didn't know what was gonna be taking place at this banquet, so yeah, I didn't go. Come to find out, I get a text message from one of the people who was in one of my classes, and they were like, congrats, Jasmine. I was like, congratulations for what? And they were like, you got the highest GPA in accounting. And I was like, what? What you mean? How do you know? And then she was like, you got an award. I was like, an award? How did I get an award? I didn't even know. Like, what are you talking about? Listen, I literally got a whole award for, as y'all can see, let me try to cover up my name. It might be a little blurry, but got a whole award for graduating with the highest GPA in my class, and still graduated a whole semester early. So 3.5 years, even with me withdrawing and dropping out for that semester, still graduated early, and graduated with honors, and graduated with no debt because I was on a full scholarship. Let that sink in for a second. Now, this is not, I don't want y'all to take this as like me bragging, because that is not what I'm intending by this at all. But that's just to show you guys like the power of God. And some of y'all might say, okay, well, you know, you did well in school because you studied and you tried hard, which is true, because it does say in the Bible, faith without works is dead. So I did put in the work with that. But when I tell you that I could not have made it without God, like, I literally, the number of times that I was ready to just give up and just stop was every day. Like, literally at the last portion, my last semester, literally every day I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not, like, why am I even here? Like, I don't even want this degree. This is dumb. This is a waste of time. Like, I was ready to give up, but God gave me the strength to make it through. So all that to say, whatever you're going through right now, whether it's school, whether it's life, whatever it is, God will give you the strength. You just have to trust him. And I have to do the same thing. But he's gonna come through. He really will. If you trust, you believe, and you do your part and you let him do his part, he will come through for you, and that is a promise. So yes, I hope this video encouraged you guys. I hope it helped you guys in some way. And until next time, you guys, stay great, stay awesome. Peace out. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.